everyone. Well, we're going to go ahead and get it started because I know time is going to fly. And
For sure.
we're going to get it going. So, hey, everyone. My name is Coach Mike with Game Changers. We are a leadership and mentoring organization for high school student athletes. Today, I want to say thanks for tuning in. Welcome our very special guest. TreSean has been with, or we've known of TreSean probably for about a good 3 to 4 years now. And he was our player of the week. And one of the things that you have to do as player of the week is not only what you do on the field necessarily, but what you're doing in your community and your academics. So TreSean was one of those ones that caught our eye, and we wanted to make sure that we locked him down in with just recognizing all that hard work. So again, TreSean, appreciate you, sir. Thanks for all that you've done. Yeah, man.
Yes, sir.
I'm happy to
Glad to
finally
be
get
here.
a chance to meet you. Yeah, for sure.
For sure.
So let's go ahead and let's get this thing popping off, man, and started. Just go ahead and give people a quick, little bio about, your name, where you're from, as well as what school you're at and what's your classification.
Okay. TreSean Smith. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. I went to LaSalle High School. Three-peat state championship champions back then. I attended Louisville for 3 years. I ended up graduating in 3 years, getting my degree. I just finished up this semester. I had to be a grad transfer with 2 years left of eligibility. So on the field, I'm a redshirt sophomore with 2 years left. So looking forward to finding my new home, my new journey with this new school I'm about to look at, or new schools I'm looking at, and then hopefully make a decision here soon.
That's what's up, man. That's awesome.
For sure.
So let's go ahead, man. First of all, congrats for all of that. That's like some amazing stuff,
For sure.
the point of even what you're saying, in and out like 3 years, like it's so easy, of course, for some students to kind of get there, get on campus. You there like 4. Well, 4 is good. 5 is even good if you could do it now. Some people be on campus for like 6 years.
6 years.
Like,
yeah.
You done been through 2 presidents, man. It's time for you to go out of there.
I know, man.
Yeah, but
so
I mean, all of that hard work, and we're going to get to that. But let's start from the very beginning. I mean, because, and we'll use, sports as a platform because that kind of helped get your foot into where you are now. But then we're definitely going to start talking about that academic piece. I remember when we did Player of the Week, and you were, I want to say we had you on record at like a 4.0 GPA. Like to you, you went just as hard in your books as you did, on the field. But where did it all start for you? Was this something in middle school that started this up for you, or what?
I always been kind of like one of those kids in a classroom, like it just kind of came natural. I say like me growing up, I was around my grandparents a lot. My parents were working a lot, so like me being around my grandparents, they kind of pushed me a lot. Basically, like they expected more from me as a kid, and that just kind of carried on throughout my life. And then like with me just learning a lot growing up, like from them, I also learned from my older siblings. I was the youngest of 7 kids. So me just learning from their mistakes and then their successes as well, that kind of helped me. And then just learning through sports as well, like facing adversity in sports and facing adversity in life, it all just ties into one really. So, I mean, life kind of prepared me for where I am today. So yesterday prepared me for today. So
I got you.
Yes, sir. Just trying to prevail each and every day.
Yeah. So when did you start even playing sports?
So I started, my first sport was actually soccer. I started soccer at the age of 3.
Okay.
Then I ended up picking up football at the age of 4. I started playing football at the age of 4, but I was playing up. So I was playing with like 6 and 7-year-olds. So we only had 5, 6, 7s, but 6 and 7s was together. So I was 4 playing with 6 and 7-year-olds. Just there from the jump. My first position was like tight end or something. But I always had a love. I always wanted to throw the ball. So that's when I moved to quarterback growing up. So I was Little League. I was a quarterback and a running back. And I played like outside backers too because I was kind of the taller kid on the side of the ball too. So
okay. Yeah. So for you, this started all the way as far as in ages, like you said, 3, 4, 5. Like you've always been doing this, so to say.
Right.
Athletic ability, going out there competing, and just kind of knowing what you want. Like you said, they started you at tight end. Well, they could have had it worse. You could have been like a center,
O-line, center, or something, man. I'm saying I went in the bigger, heavy set kid, and then I was a little more on the skinnier side. So that was a good fit for me.
Okay.
Yeah, it worked out.
Got you. So then you transitioned into middle school. You started being more focused. They had you really playing quarterback a little bit more and things like that.
So going into middle school, it was like at that stage of my career where I was like, I had to make a decision what sport I wanted to play. I had already dropped baseball like a little bit when I was like 10 years old, but going into middle school, I kind of had to like start getting the feel of what I really wanted to play and kind of like focus on it a little bit. But in basketball, I mean, in middle school, I would say I was more focused on basketball. But I played football. We were real good though. We had a team though, like. So I played quarterback, and I was like kind of like strictly trying to focus on that, kind of better myself at that, because I saw myself playing that in high school, whatever. I had a good career in middle school, did good, and then that's when I ended up leaving. I was at Wynn Woods Middle School. I ended up leaving there to go to LaSalle High School. Going into LaSalle, I was trying to prepare myself to play quarterback, but how it was set up for the older levels up there, the varsity and JV, I had a better chance of being an all-around athlete and just playing receiver and DB. So I ended up making that transition to switch to DB my freshman year. I mean, switch to receiver my freshman year. I had a good freshman year, a good freshman season. Just coming in, I had older guys above me, so I wasn't even worried about getting up there to that level of playing on the varsity. So we had 5 stars on the team, Derek Keith, a lot of different guys on the team. So, I was just sitting back, waiting my turn, being patient. Just trying to develop as a young player at a prestigious school like that. So, I mean, it ended up working out for me. So,
gotcha. All right. So let's get into that. So, this is your freshman year of high school. The reason why I love even having you back on here, is because now that you've kind of gone through it and now you see, like, looking back, the steps that you made, lessons that you learned and whatever, and then you have, like, even today's youth kind of going through a lot of those same transitions. What was your freshman year like for you? You know what I mean? Now you're up there with the big boys, like your middle school is all like, play this or whatever. But now you're up there with the big boys, here you are 13, 14 years old, and some of these guys look like grown men, you know what I mean? 17, 18, looking like they're 25, you know what I mean? Like, but what was that like for you? How did you find your way and get your fillers, when it came to being at that next level?
More so I looked at it as motivation. Seeing the success like that the older guys did have. We had 5 stars on the team, 4 stars on the team, offers from Alabama, Ohio State, all these different offers. I see it coming in. I'm like, why can't I go do that? I can go do the same thing, really. So just seeing them and then knowing them and then being around them, they kind of just kept me on the right track. And then being at LaSalle, that really did help me as well. Just because of the school it is. It's a greater Catholic. It's in a greater Catholic league. It's a Catholic school. They're developing young men to become men from day one. So just being in that school, I think that really did keep my head on tight, especially being in an area like Cincinnati. It just kept me in the right guys with the same motivation, with the same goals as you. That's what really did help me in the long run. So, I mean, coming in the freshman year, it was pretty much easy. Like, it's either you want to do this or you don't. And if you don't, you might as well just not be here. So, I mean, it definitely did work out.
Okay. So let's talk about that. So you start transitioning, of course, freshman, sophomore year, junior year. What do you think were some of the things that really pushed you? Like you said, you already have a community. You got the people on your team. Like, everybody's kind of striving for that same mindset, excellence. Like you said, LaSalle in and of itself, the culture, 3-peat championships. Listen, you don't do that overnight. Everybody's got to buy in to be able to get onto that. For you, where do you see your leadership starting to be cultivated and you setting yourself up to, where other people can also depend on you as a leader?
So like my sophomore year, I was supposed to play a little bit on varsity. I ended up getting hurt, facing some adversity, like I said, having to push back through that and get back on track to where I really wanted to be. And then me knowing like that, my sophomore year, we ended up winning state. Me coming back that next year, I was asked to move from receiver to DB for the team's sake. So for the team's sake, I'm like, all right, that'd be cool for me. I can see myself playing this in college. I know I can develop in this position. And then basically from there, it got off and running. But I was kind of pushed into a role of being a leader because of my position. I was a safety on the field, so it's like that's kind of like a field general. You got to make sure everything in front of you is on key. And if without that, you're not going to have a successful defense. And then me sitting back that sophomore year a little bit and seeing that and see how those guys kind of took that role. I just took pieces from this player, pieces from this player, and then put it all into mine. And then just having big brothers and other people that's over me kind of had that expectation of me. They see me, they see the leader in me, and people just automatically expect that. Even now to this day, any school that does know me and can talk to anybody, they know like I just have that leadership trait. And it's just like, I don't know, it's just something about me. And I think like, it's I love it though. That's one thing I do love about myself though. I know how to be able to take that role as a leader and guide someone or a team or anyone. So
yeah, you know, big ups to even what you said in regards to that. You know, like you said, the maturity of saying, you know what, they said this is best for the team, so let me put me outside of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Do what's best for the team, especially when you already know what the potential is. You know what I mean? Yo, we've already been here before. We know where we want to get to this year, and then, you know, of course, looking at your future as well. And, you know, looking at even here, I'm in Warren, Ohio, so I'm about a good 4 hours north of you.
Right.
And Lynn Bolden came out of here, so that was a quarterback. And then, of course, you know, when he went out there to
UK,
that's y'all's rival. Yeah,
I done ran across him a couple times.
Okay. And so, you know, just that transition. I mean, here he was straight quarterback. Then when he got there, you know, a different position. And then, of course, towards the end, they end up putting him in as quarterback. But all of that, I guess what I'm getting at is being able to look at what's best for the team really positions you in a place of now him being recruited and going out there to the Raiders of a team, a franchise team saying that, you know what, you're willing to do whatever it takes whenever a coach needs you to, what's going to be best for the team. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, you know, big ups for being able to sense that, because at the end of it, you can see whether it's, you know, you're getting an NFL contract or not, but, you know, someone's just going to be able to sense that, yo, I want him on my team, you know, in the business world, whatever.
Oh, you start going out. You hear me? I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. You got. Yeah. So let's talk about, you know, from sophomore year, now we start transitioning up to, of course, you know, your junior year. You know, you start, I'm guessing, getting a lot more distractions and things pulling at you and stuff like that. What are some of those things that might have been pulling at you that you had to kind of make some decisions that, you know, I got to do one thing over another?
Really just being in Cincinnati. Cincinnati is not so much good that you can go do. So you feel me? Like, it's either you in the streets or you playing ball, you going to school, you doing something. You have your lane and you stand in that lane. If you get off your lane, there's no coming back to where you want to be. So me realizing that, and then I was around people who didn't have the same goal as me, but I didn't let that get to me. So them not having the same goal as me, I seen it, and it's like, I don't want to do that. Like, I want to be successful. I want to go make some money. I love playing sports. So it's like, why not keep myself on the track to go do that? Just really, I'm a observant person. So I like to observe other people. Me sitting back, seeing failed stories of people who could have been, then people who actually did do it. I mean, it's really just two different routes, and you make the choice. The choice is yours. So
yeah. Got you. Yeah. Okay. So the reason why I bring that up, of course, like I said, every day someone's got to make the decision that either show up or they're going to blow it off. You know what I mean? Every practice, I mean, 2-a-days or whatever. There's so many opportunities to kind of give up, but it takes a different type of mindset to kind of stick to it. You know what I mean? And get it.
Right.
Even you being, you know, there, Louisville, you know what I mean? You know, do you go to class? You know, nobody's there babysitting you. It's kind of like, what do you do to kind of keep your mind focused and making sure that you're going to still rise up to that occasion, you know?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. No, I was saying, like, I think what really did help us, starting that junior year, we had got a new coach. So our coach had came from Thomas More University, head coach. He brought his staff down there to LaSalle. So we got collegiate coaches being over us. They know what it takes. And it's like, if you ain't listening to them, you're not gonna be on the field. So I mean, we had them hovering over us a little bit. So like, I think that really did help us as well. And then like, one of our football coaches was a counselor in the school. So, like, everything was just kind of set up for us to be successful. Like, all the guys that I did play with in high school, they're still in college doing well, going to get degrees, playing on the field, being successful, doing everything right. Like, so it was never like, it was just kind of like what we built. It was like a legacy of these years. And, like, even now to this day, if you go back and look at LaSalle, they're still doing the same thing. So, like, I definitely do praise that school. I got love for that school. I got love for everybody there. And they definitely did help me. And I could never say they're not a part of me. So, I probably wouldn't be here without LaSalle. Who knows? So,
All right, I dig it. Well, let's talk about some of that other stuff. You know, you start talking about foundation. So we got the school, you know, you said your grandparents, your parents, of course, you know, working a lot, what have you, but still being able to, you know, give. You're 1 to 7 type of deal. You know, what are some other things that kind of put you, I guess, in a position of, you know, succeeding, you know, and getting you to where you are now? What do you attribute?
Academics, God, and surrounding yourself with people of the same nature of you who want to be successful. I mean, really, that's all it is. If somebody can't get you up in the morning and get you to go work out, then why you hanging with them? Y'all just want to sit around, lounge around all day? Like, nah, I can't even be around you. If you don't want to be great, I don't want to be around you. So, I mean, that's pretty much what it is. And then God got me through some hard times, losing friends, losing family, just facing adversity and realizing that, I mean, life's just going to move on. You can't forget it, but life's going to move on. So tomorrow's not promised. So, like, at this point, you got to give your all each and every day. I mean, and that's I just took that with me to college, because me going into college, I mean, we're going to get there eventually, but like me going into college, nothing was guaranteed. Like, recruiting, they might tell you all this and that, but like you going in there, once you're there, it get real. So, I mean, you can't slack off. And me knowing that from my coaches and everybody that I was surrounding myself with, like they knew the same thing. So all this is getting put in my head, and it's not going to the back. It's right here. So I mean,
I got you. So let's talk about, even before we get ready to transition off of high school and leave that chapter behind, let's talk about, you know, some of the things that you were involved with in high school. So of course you were an athlete, your academics. Then were you involved in any other organizations and things that kind of added or?
So like being at a Catholic school, you know, you'll have to do some service work here and there. We were required to do a certain amount of hours and stuff.
Exactly.
So, I mean, it was various different things, whether it's land mulch, canned food drives, just going to church services. I can't even, you name it, we probably did it really. It was a lot of giving back. And I really did like that about high school, because there's some high schools where they might be the ones receiving the giving back, but that giving feeling is better than receiving. So that was very cool. So I mean, it was just a lot of different events we did, and not even involved with just athletics. It was the school part of it as well. Like, it was like a requirement. That's just what we did. And then like it got to a point where you got so used to doing it, it's just like, I like this. Like, so,
Right. No, I appreciate that as well. You know, when it comes back to service, and that's one of our core values, service, is like, if you get to doing it for so long, it almost like gives you a natural high. You know what I mean? Like, you really learn to appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like the same kind of feeling of fulfillment that, you know, you might get to be able to give that is something else. You know what I mean? And these are the things that kind of make you where you are, so that, you know, what makes it second nature, you know, say for instance, if someone gets money, whatever that money is, you know, from a successful job or in the league or whatever, you know, money doesn't make the man makes the money type of deal. You know what I mean? Like, if you've already got the mentality to be able to give back, then it's going to be in you to give back, because it's part of your DNA. You know what I mean? Versus the other way around. Sometimes people say, oh, when I'm making, I'm going to do X. No. You know, do what you can do with the little that you do got.
Right. You gotta be the same person with $7,000 as $7,000. You gotta be the same person.
Yeah, for sure. So let's segue. You started touching on it a little bit in regards to, you know, recruiting. So what did that look like? Now, we're talking about our senior year. You got two belts up under your waist right now. What was that senior year looking like for you?
So I didn't have an offer until after junior season. So after my junior season, that's when I really started blowing up. By the time I had committed to Louisville, I committed to Louisville on Father's Day, right before senior season. So like that July or June or whenever it was. I think it was June 19th. June 19th, I believe. I committed. So I committed to Louisville, and I thought it was over. Like I had like 20 offers under my belt right then and there. I committed to Louisville. I felt at home. I was good. I was solid on commitment. I started recruiting other guys to come to Louisville. And then, like, I'm thinking everything going to be good. And then senior year, so my junior year, I was only playing safety, just strict safety. That's all I played. And then senior year came around, and we needed a quarterback. we had just lost our quarterback that we had for 4 years. Just lost him, so I ended up making the transition to quarterback. So I come out first game, end up winning the game against a good team as well. It's like we played in the Crosstown Showdown in Cincinnati. We ended up playing Sycamore. I started at quarterback, had a good game at quarterback, and I just started rolling. And that's kind of like where the athlete position came in to play for me. So me going through the season, I'm playing quarterback, I'm scoring touchdowns, playing defense as well, still making plays on the defensive side. And like all I know is like things just start blowing up. Like more schools coming in. I'm committed to Louisville still. I got Notre Dame, Penn State, Oklahoma, all these different schools coming. I'm like, whoa, hold on now. Hold on. I got to do a little thinking, do a little reconsideration now. So
Right.
So, like, I'm getting all these buzzes in my ear. What you about to do? You going to flip? You going to decommit? What you going to do? I'm like, man, I'm going to stay solid. I'm going to stay true. But, like, at the end, like, schools start trying to make a late push. And then that's, like, recruiting just blew. Like, and it kind of did get overwhelming being in high school. And then you got grown folks in your ear trying to tell you what decision you should make, what's best for you. I'm like, at the end of the day, like, y'all still can't sway me. It's me at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm big on loyalty. Me being committed to Louisville, I stay loyal to them, stay loyal to the people that I brought along. I'm not going to bring these people along and bail on them. I can't do that. Like, I would just feel wrong as a person. So I stayed true to being Louisville. I had a successful senior year, winning state. I was content. I was good. I felt at home. I was good. So, I mean, recruiting did blow up, and it did get overwhelming, but I never let that get to me. I stood strong on my loyalty, really.
Got you. So with Louisville, was that a full ride for you, or was that a partial? That was full ride.
No, it was full ride. Yeah.
Okay, good stuff. Big. All athletic?
All athletic. Yeah. Amazing. I had some academic stuff here and there, but I didn't even go that route. I know school was gonna be paid for, so I was good. So yeah.
Good stuff. Good. Well, I love that, of course, with your grades being where they were, even if you had to fall back on it, you could, versus, say, for instance, I've seen people, they've gotten athletic scholarship, injury happens because no one ever plans for them. And then next thing they know, then they're kind of left out there like a school like, yo, we got to rotate you up off because now you're a liability. And that extra 10,000 that we were giving you, we could be given to, what I mean? So some decisions.
I done seen it firsthand, definitely. Like that, like I said, part of seeing them failed stories, I didn't want to go that route. I didn't want to be that type person. So like I made sure I was on everything I need to do. I'm asking like what I gotta do. If I need to get it done, I'm gonna get it done. So I was definitely focused on that, and I wanted to be successful. And still to this day, I still got goals I need to accomplish. Like I'm not done yet. So I mean,